do know that they are capable of these, lane swaps and even role swaps here. I did actually, you know what? I'm a fan of the Ashe. I know it's not really used much in competitive play, but I actually think that, her skills are just so underutilized. I feel like if Alliance can build their kind of strategy and character around it, they could have something special here going into the League Championship. What do you think, Omo?
Yeah, I mean, I think that Ashe is honestly a really OP champion. But because she doesn't do a lot of damage, people tend to undervalue her. She's one of the lower damage marksmen. But her utility is so good. Her lane dominance is always... Her ability to contest mid priority is so good. She just provides so many things which are just so important in the meta. But I think that just because she does low damage, no dopamine, people don't value her. I think we were talking to What the Jazz yesterday. He said the same thing, right? Ashe is my favorite hero to play with as a support, and you can completely understand why. You push waves, you control lanes, and you have so much map control as a marksman, and that's insane to see. But unfortunately, doesn't look like we're seeing it this game.
Yeah, my question really for coming out of GEEK Fam, because we're talking a lot about Alliance right now, there's sort of almost acting like a foregone conclusion that they're going to win this one. I'd love to see GEEK Fam draft something that has very nice ease of execution. The Ziggs and the J4 in the first rotation scream to me, love it. Okay, Cataclysm, Bomb, a lot of damage to follow, right? If you manage to survive that Cataclysm, right, there's a Riven, there's a Kha'Zix to follow to pick off the stragglers, but now that's a very rare Leona pick. We don't see it too often, but I mean, a Solar Flare added into the mix, there is so much CC. If they can coordinate it well, once you're caught, very hard to escape no matter what you have, be it a QSS, be it a flash, a barrier. You can have it all, but it just may not be enough.
Yeah, what about you, Omo?
It's another team comp that wants to try to set up the jungler, right? Set up the Kha'Zix. On the side of Alliance as well, you see they want to set up the Lee Sin. We talked about this a lot yesterday with Jess. Renekton, Lee Sin, everyone knows what they want to do. Yeah. It's just, can you avoid it? They're going to get on you, try to one-shot you. Same thing with Ahri Lee Sin. One spell hits, everything else lines up, you just die, right? So you need to be very careful of the ability of Alliance's solo lanes in tandem with the jungler to just make these picks.
Well, let's see if these teams can play their cards just right. This is going to be the first game of Alliance versus GEEK Fam casters. Over to you guys.
Thank you very much, Mika, and welcome everyone to Alliance vs GEEK Fam for the game number 1. And I think this is gonna be an interesting match to see. Riku, what are your thoughts coming down when it comes to the draft?
I'm excited. I'm excited about Alliance's draft in particular because just as what Omo mentioned, it is very classic to see this Lee Sin and then Renekton basically having to set up these dives. And as well as Azora Vecchi, once the charm lands, everything will just follow suit. Everything. You know that someone is going to immediately die. For GEEK Fam, on the other hand, this is a very interesting draft, I suppose, especially they're opting for more of that, traditional, non-traditional duo bot lane. But the Leona is something that we rarely see. Actually, when we look at the fall season, normally we get to see more of the Blitzcrank and less of the Leona, despite, 3 consecutive patches. Basically, now Nyx here on this Leona, that's going to be that big engage, rather, with the Solar Flare. So I assume that Nyx is going to do the roaming, considering the fact that Momo has big wave clear, has the satchel for safety. Biggest question is, will Raven and CWJ bot lane allow Nyx to do that? Because right now we're seeing them having priority in the lane.
Yeah, definitely. The engage, I think GEEK Fam wants to utilize that, especially when you're considering you have Dashang on the Riven, you have Haki mid lane, Jarvan 4. I think they want that oppression up against Alliance to be able to capitalize onto the engage up against them. Maybe that's the reason why. And even having a Momo with the Ziggs as a Dragon laner can have such of an effect on having to match up on the aggression of Alliance. But so far, it has been Alliance who is getting those Rift Cutters, who's getting the dominance into the bottom lane. You see a lot of pressure coming in from them. What do you think will happen even 4 minutes into the game? Because the first objective that we're gonna see is the Infernal Dragon. But before then, it's gonna be 69 being locked in, CC chain from Renekton, flashing from SSK, slice and dice, first blood for Alliance, and now to follow up, the Shang will be forced to back away as well, putting up the barrier to just go back alive. And Alliance dominant first 2 minutes.
Just according to plan, right? All Ahri, Lee Sin. Look at the charm! Azora Vecchi. Wow. Nice catch there on the Shang. He most likely did not expect that.
Yeah, but here into the bot side, you have Raven, very low on HP. Nyx goes in for the stun. 1 HP is going to be left, forced out to flash away. Nyx is also very low. Everyone is just dying, and that will be the first kill for Geek Fam. 69 into the backside, places on the ward, gives information, not gonna pull through because I think he sees Raven already at 1/3 of his HP because of the honey fruit.
Is able to be healthy enough so that 69 will... And the fact that Nyx was pretty much low, I think one auto attack from a minion was enough to kill Nyx. So they decided to back away, retreat instead, and fight another day because Geek Fam bot lane pretty much already won. It was Alliance that basically wanted to start a fight. They were, again, they had priority, they had a lot of space. Top side though.
Yeah, SSK starts this with Size and dies, followed up by Jelson, gets a kill down. Alliance once again gets a good trade, kills off the Shang in the Baron lane.
Ease of execution there, even though the Shang is on the Riven. Still no level 5 just yet. Look at Nyx's roams though here at the top side of the map. Alliance, they're happy just killing the Shang time and time again with this scary duo of a top and as well as jungler of the Lee Sin and as well as the Renekton. And this is, you know, classic results coming from these two, especially, you know, Jelson. Having to be here on Alliance, of course. A lot of the audience out there are very familiar with the name, of course, back in the Wild Rift Icon series, PPGL. And now he's here on Alliance, and now he's showing his stuff here on this Lee Sin.
Yeah, he roams actually pretty good here for Alliance. I think he is proactive onto the actions of Alliance, and Dashang currently is now in a huge gap up against SSK. If you looked at the gold difference of these two Baron laners a while ago, it's just so massive. It's like 1k gold lead for SSK against Dashang.
It's huge. That constant pressure coming from Jelson is the way to do it, but look at Alliance. Look at them zoning out the rest of Geek Fam here. They have no access whatsoever to contest this one. And the story, I thought the story was Alliance gonna get a pick, but they're happy with just the Shang and able to zone out. They might get even 2 objectives here. Geek Fam, again, they're hoping Nyx or Hockey will go in first before anything else. Before anything else. That's it.
Yeah, and I think this is the reason why Alliance is focusing on the Shang, because they know that the Shang is one of the valuable players here for Geek Fam. If Riven is able to get that gap up against SSK into the Baron lane, you know, you see the prediction here that the Shang is just gonna dominate when it comes to initiating those fights, initiating the setup. But now with Alliance punishing them consistently, it's now gonna be much more harder for them to be able to try and engage Alliance, even if they have Leona and Jarvan 4 in their draft.
Exactly. What is your follow-up damage? I mean, you do have you do have Momo here on the Ziggs, but it's definitely not enough. You still need that second item, Rabadons, to be absolutely painful. The fact that Alliance also has some form of sustain in the form of this Nami on CWJ. Rift Herald now being started. Charm misses.
Gonna be missed. Yep. Alliance actually goes for the engage. Tidal Wave connects onto 4. That's gonna
Killer
be Renekton into the backside. Gets a kill down. 69 will die. And followed up with a mid laner.
Dashang?
Also gonna fall down. Dashang tries to outplay the enemy team, but this is a 1v3, and Alliance takes it home.
And Geek Fam is unable to finish all the low health targets. Remember what we talked about in the previous game. Whenever there's going to be big poke, usually the damage is not going to be enough, and that's why you need a finisher. Who is your finisher? The Shang. What happened to the Shang? Alliance basically constantly pressured the Riven, the Shang, over there atop.
Yeah, look at the gold from Riven compared to SSK. It's like a 2k gold difference, 1.5k gold difference onto both these Baron laners, and pretty much the Shang is even below sort of the other players coming from Alliance as well.
Yeah, the gap is just right now at this point of the game. Let's take a look at that replay. Raven with a very aggressive killer instinct. I mean, he knows that Geek Fam is pretty much already on retreat. And we saw how much the Shang wanted to at least take someone down, like anyone. There's just so many low health targets on the board at that moment, but Geek Fam unable to find the finish.
Yeah, definitely. And I think this is going to be very much more so difficult because the only range for Geek Fam is going to be Ziggs. They're only AP. They're depending on a lot of these frontliners for Geek Fam to initiate onto those fights, but the problem is they couldn't. There's just so much to disengage for Alliance, considering also they have Nami with the tidal wave. So that's just gonna punish onto the Shang, onto 69, onto Hack with the Jarvan 4, and even Nyx to engage onto those team fights.
Yeah, it's really, really difficult with the gold lead that Alliance has now. I mean, look at their buy. Triple Twin Shadows. What does that do? You basically counter Death Brushes that Nyx is going to set up with the Leona. You also basically counter 69 on the Kazakhs, by the way.
Yeah.
Solo kill atop.
Solar Flare for Nyx going to the mid lane, forces out the flash coming through. That's gonna Cataclysm with a
Kill
flag, and
instinct.
Drag not gonna be able to get the kill. Oh, but the trade happens. It's a 1-for-1. Aki gets it back.
Was a tad worried about that with a kick coming from Jelson, sending Haki close to Raven, who's one auto attack away. But there's the trust, there's the tower. It was basically a 3v1 situation to finish off the kill onto Haki. What a beautiful counter engage coming from Alliance.
Yeah, it was so fashionable. The fancy footworks coming from Haki was phenomenal in that engage alone. But what is not fancy though is the 4.3k gold lead that Alliance is doing up against GEEK Fam. This massive gold differential in this game in the first 8 minutes and 30 seconds of the game is just so much to handle. How can GEEK Fam be able to turn this table upside down up against Alliance, considering that there's just so much of a gap in the early game?
Yeah, they have the potential to get a catch, to get a pick. Now they're contriving.
SSK, pincer attack onto the backside. GEEK Fam with the tidal wave. Goal for the knockup. Haki rather, onto the backside. Cataclysm locks on 2. That's huge for GEEK Fam. But 3-4-2. One member
Jelson.
more kill for Alliance. And Jelson is now into the backside as well. Onto Kazakhs. Not gonna push through. So much for Alliance. And now they have their eyes locked onto the turret 1/3 in mid lane.
Yeah, they've got an open, they've managed to open up mid lane, and now they're gonna get this air drake, which is so painful for GEEK Fam, because we saw how much roaming Alliance has been doing. We talked about the Twin Shadows. I talked about 2 reasons why this is good. The third reason is they're gonna keep roaming, they're gonna activate Twin Shadows, they're gonna find a target, get someone slowed, easy charm, easy initiate by Alliance.
Yeah, and that is what they keep constantly doing. Though GEEK Fam still staying put onto 5k gold difference onto Alliance. They don't want to give much more onto Alliance at this point in time because it's just gonna be so much devastating if they give much more gold. But Alliance stacking up onto the Dragons now with the Infernal and Cloud Dragon is gonna be huge when it comes to later game. But Alliance initiates this fight. Solar Spirit tries to delay Cataclysm to follow up. SSK is there locked in, but Nyx being alive with 1 second longer, but will fall after. Now Haki will be stunned by SSK. Another kill for Alliance. That's gonna be the double for them.
And the Twin Shadows slow into
solo kill.
Raven?
Wow. Raven
That's-
just got the solo kill to the mid lane.
Yeah, that is tragic. This is a full-on Alliance game now. They have full control. They're walking it on everybody on the side of GEEK Fam. They can take towers. They can take objectives. They can take lives here in this first game.
Yeah, definitely taking lives now down here. 10 kill difference that Alliance is leading towards this game number 1 against GEEK Fam, is stating their dominance here in this group of death up against this team. We'll see though how GEEK Fam can try and turn tides around, because currently it's not looking that great.
Yeah, this is looking very, very difficult. Every single lane, there's this big gap happening. Again, for that late game insurance, you have Momo, but at the same time, you're scaling alongside a Kaisa who is now currently snowballing.
Ooh, Solar Flare, immediate flash there from Zoraveki, saving his life, but GEEK Fam takes a tier 1 turret. Now he's locked down. Cataclysm with the Mega Inferno Bomb gets the secured kill because Zoraveki doesn't have flash, and Alliance will lose their mid lane, but they're pushing tier 2 turret bot lane.
Now their mid lane are gone, but that means mid lane and bottom lane inner towers are gone as well. So that is not sure about that exchange coming from GEEK Fam. Of course, they wanted to push themselves towards top, but it's just them being pushed to a corner now with this massive 10k gold lead.
Yeah, it's the value, right? 100 gold per place, pretty much. It's just so much going through Alliance. But now, GEEK Fam gets a secured kill onto the support. CWJ will fall down. Slowly but surely, GEEK Fam is trying to come back.
At this point, Alliance must be careful.
Ooh, Jelson once again goes for the stun. Slice and dice, finishes him down.
He's alive.
Up. But he lives just a little bit longer. But Jelson now gonna get killed instead. That will be the 1-for-1 into the bot lane engage.
Raven
Solar
Raven.
Flare tries to catch up. It's gonna be Raven coming into the backside.
Killer Instinct.
Also, but Killer Instinct, what a clutch coming from Raven. Now he gets a killer return. It's gonna be Momo falling down. But now Nyx stands him up. Flashes is gonna be burned down, but GEEK Fam will not be able to get that trade. Charmed up to follow up. Kaisa will get the kill onto the Jarvan 4. Nyx and 69 forced to retreat. So much damage from Alliance.
That could have been a fight that GEEK Fam wanted to fight, but because Raven is still able to survive because of the Killer Instinct, because of the Zonia's pickup, and is able to dive the back line, therefore deleting Momo, the one-out attack max void stacks after that is just so painful. Is able to turn things around, and it doesn't matter, even though Jelson has fallen, Alliance is able to win that game, buy some time, get to the Baron, set up for the Baron possibly, but I mean, Ocean Drake is still up for grabs, and the leeway for GEEK Fam to come back into this game is very, very narrow. And it all will solely fall into Nyx's hands.
Once again, 69 now gonna be 1 HP.
Honey
Goes
fruit.
for the honey fruit, saves his life, but here at the backside, gets a kill. Lee Sin removes the jungler, and they can start up onto the Baron Nashor.
I was about to say, it's all up to Nyx for that initiation, for that heavy engage. Momo is the Ziggs. He can just throw bombs from afar, from behind this pit. Is there going to be a steal, perhaps?
2k HP remaining. Solar Flare jumps in, not gonna be able to get that steal down, but Lee Sin will die. But before then, they get the Baron Nashor. Now Hockey into the Baron's pit, trying to go back away. Desham comes through, comes into the party, joins up. Double kill from Kaisa. GEEK Fam will get eviscerated. Triple kill for Raven. With the Baron buff, they could push into onto the inhibitor turret.
Possibly, maybe even ending the game. There's so many death timers. 20, only 69 here to defend.
Yeah, pushing through inhibitor turret. 69 waiting for the right opportunity into the backside. That will be the next phase, next stop, next hit. That will be game 1 for Alliance taking on in the series.
Big statement. Alliance coming in